What's up? I'm live on TikTok. So this is going to be on my YouTube. I'm live on TikTok. My name is Eric Leo 108. I'm a philosopher, sociologist, and hip-hop artist with schizoaffective disorder. And this video is going to be a critique. Basically, it's more... I'm not critiquing the music. I'm critiquing the message of the real Samson or Samson. Specifically, his music video 46 equals 13. So let's see here. I like the real Samson. I think he's really dope. I think he's really, really talented. I think he's very talented, and I don't blame him for his perspective, but I will say he's wrong. For those in this... basically, he looks widely uneducated and is contributing to the problem. I would write a response, but I don't want to feed into the ignorance, and I have to explain things, which is why I'm doing this. I think when you hear this, I think he's serious and these are his beliefs, but it makes me think he is just saying this stuff for views like Tom McDonald. Unlike Tom McDonald, who I think does... Sorry, my alarm went off. Unlike Tom McDonald, who I think does this purposefully to make money, I think Samson is just believes this stuff and is just wrong. So what I want to do is educate him and people so he can make ill-correct music. I don't want to assume that he's above being corrected or wants to make his music better or is above being wrong. So he reminds me of Mute the Media on TikTok, because if he could be converted, he would be a greater asset to America, because as it stands right now, he's basically like a fringe conspiracy theorist that's personifying or disseminating disinformation. For the most part, I don't feel the same way as he does, and this is where we come to the music video. Chances are you feel the same way as that.
I love high gas prices, I love paying more for groceries, and I really love seeing taxes rise. It's so good knowing that I'm giving more but receiving less. It makes me feel humble, but I'm gonna stop with the sarcasm right there, because I swear we're living in a real jungle.
Okay, so inflation is up worldwide, and inflation is comparatively low compared to other countries. So everywhere in the world has high inflation, but our inflation is comparatively low compared to other countries which have higher inflation. Everybody has higher inflation.
Pretty simple to me, though. It's way past being left or right. Just use your head and common sense and think about how you've been affected in daily life. Is it easier or is it harder? That's the most important question you should think of first. Because life is a bitch already as it is, and you don't need someone that's going to make it worse.
Okay, so... he's right. You don't need... life's hard, and you don't need somebody that's going to make it worse. So if you want to know what's been making your life worse if you're an American, it's Republican economic policy of trickle-down economics and tax code. There has been a systematic transfer of wealth and power from the people to the economic elites. He talks about this a lot. How celebrities, if he had to do that stuff, it would take hours. They don't have more brain power, they have more money, and they change the rules in their favor, is what I'm saying. I talk about this in my American Inequality post that you can find at farminghumans.com. Corporations rule, money is speech, and it's been a concerted effort by the economic elites through the Republican Party to lower the standard of living and minimize the average citizen's political and economic influence. So yeah, I have a degree in sociology, and I was admitted to the sociology master's program at Western Michigan University. As long as I can get housing and funding, I'm gonna go. So, yeah.
Me? I think we're fucked. Don't give me that look. Everything sucks. Have you gone outside? Have you been to the store? Have you compared the prices to a year before? Do you drive a car? Have you pumped gas? Don't lie to me now. It sucks ass. You can brush it off like it's a fucking joke, but the media lies. Numbers don't. Well, you can't blame Biden. It isn't him. Well, who the fuck is it then?
I'll tell you.
Jacked up the prices. I want to know why I spend so much up at Conoco. I don't know. I think it's insane that the leader of the country gets no blame, because the whole entire time, the last 4 years, it was cheap as fuck. I'm just saying. Now watch. Down in the comment section, someone's gonna give us an economy lesson. I can't wait to hear your expert analysis on fluctuation and how expenses balance. It's all a part of the pro...
Okay. So here's your answer to why gas prices are so high and why it's not Biden's fault. So basically, I'm so sick of seeing the Biden stickers that point to the gas prices at, like, in Michigan, they're everywhere at gas stations, or they were, where Biden is pointing at gas prices and said, I did that. First of all, the price of anything is controlled by the market, especially in a capitalist society. It's supply and demand, and as supply goes down, prices go up. Gas prices are high everywhere because war in Russia. Again, inflation is high everywhere, so is gas prices. And they're paying more comparatively compared to Americans. If you're going to get mad at anyone, get mad at OPEC, which is literally the conglomerate that controls gas prices. And recently, Democrats tried to pass a bill so gas companies couldn't price gouge, and the Republicans blocked it. And this guy is for the conservatives for some reason.
What the hell you bitching for? It's fine. Oh yeah, I forgot about the 16 cents that I saved on hot dogs for 4th of July. What a fucking steal. Too bad I spent more on gas just to get to Target. So by the time I got done buying all this shit and filling up my car, I had way less than when I started. Now, I don't really call that saving. No, I call that losing money. It doesn't take a genius to do simple math, but apparently you can't, so who's the dummy? I'm just pissed off. This inflation's fucked up, but I gotta sit here and act like I love this administration with a thumbs up? Stupid.
No, you don't.
Everything is hell, but you act like I'm supposed to be in heaven. You know our country ain't doing too good when the Waffle Houses start to close at 11. Dude!
I as a side note, I didn't have this written, but Biden's not perfect. Like, I'm still really critical of Biden, but I'm just saying Trump was way worse. And Biden isn't, like, the culprit for the reason of what his disgruntlement.
He can barely talk, and don't act like I'm being overzealous. Every time the man speaks, I have no fucking clue what he's trying to tell us. So every speech is like...
Okay, so Biden has always had a stammer that the right is saying is evidence of his dementia. But he's always talked like that, and people have always said that he has, like, some mental... And recently, when he got into the presidency, they said it was a mental problem. But he's always had a stammer.
A gag reel. Every time I see this shit, I'm like, is that real? Considering the fact that the only other option was Trump, I don't think it's such a bad deal. Fuck that. I want a strong leader. The strength of a man should be constantly tested, especially when you're in the most powerful position in the world. That should be not even a question.
Okay, so we want a strong leader. That should not be even a question. So, Just to give a little nuance, brother, FDR is widely considered one of the greatest presidents in U.S. history, gave us the social security system we have today, and was a nation builder, and served like 8 terms, and he had polio and was confined to a wheelchair. JFK is also considered a great leader, and he had major health problems. He had Addison's disease and got hypothyroidism when he was a senator, among many other health problems. I mean, Greg Abbott is in a wheelchair. I mean, so what does that mean? You don't think he should govern Texas?
There's really not enough words that can describe the craziness we're facing, dude. But the crazier part is there's still people you need to sit down and really explain this to. Come on, man. Just watch a press conference. You'll see the Joe is all gone. He literally says out loud that he has a list of people he's supposed to call on. And even then he fucks that up. The whole thing is hella...
George Bush was so much worse at a teleprompter than Joe Biden. I don't know if you... Strategery, just... It's hard to put food on your family. That was George Bush.
Awkward. COVID-19 ain't his biggest enemy. It's the goddamn teleprompter. It feels like we don't even have a leader. It's like we're all just following blindly. Each of my grandparents could run circles around him in a debate, and they're almost 90. Look at him. Don't take it from me. Go listen to him. It's not a rumor. You gotta, I mean, today, Junior! Jesus Christ. Go on YouTube and click any video of Joe Biden and check out the like and the dislike ratios. That should prove to you that...
Okay, so this is what he's describing as when it looks like the popular consensus is the actual consensus. That's called pluralistic ignorance.
No one likes him. I don't agree with anything he's done.
So just because there's a lot of people at a rally doesn't mean the majority don't support him.
His decisions affect me in many ways. If it was up to me, I'd rather have mean tweets and cheap gas any day.
I don't
like Biden.
So I'd rather have mean tweets than cheap gas any day. So, first of all, it wasn't Trump's mean tweets. It was his racism, sexism, and narcissism in policy, like his tax code. He gave us 4 Supreme Court judges that overturned women's rights and environmental protections. And the second half is non sequitur because, again, gas prices are not controlled by the president. So I'm just giving a critique. So for the people that are here on the live, I think Samson, this is the real Samson, 46 equals 13. I think he's really ill, but I'm just going over why he's wrong.
What good's he done for us? I think Afghanistan pretty much sums it up. What a dumb adult. My stomach does somersaults when I think about those 13 soldiers that were killed, the fucking gall. Then he goes to the service and keeps checking his watch like he has somewhere better to be. I swear the disrespect doesn't stop.
So this is the second part of his Samson's thing where he talks about the pulling out of Afghanistan. Basically, so Biden hasn't done anything outlandish compared to other presidents as far as casualties and troops. This is probably one of the worst marks on his presidency. And this is reaching. He is condemning Biden while supporting Trump when Trump disrespected Gold Star families. Like, he's checking his watch, or it was just like how they said it was disrespectful of Obama to have a cup in his hand and salute. Compared to what Trump did, it's like a walk in the park.
Pick your fucking head up. Look at the women and men you killed. I don't understand how anyone can even defend you still. And if they do, they either don't know what they're talking about or they're lying to themselves because they know damn well you're a problem now.
Most people are more educated than this guy. This is why I think he does it on purpose sometimes. Because he's the one that is widely uneducated that thinks Biden controls gas prices. Which is so offensive to common sense that you can look that up. Okay.
Pulling out was a good choice. Not the way you did it, though. Kamala's probably sitting there like, oh my God, we did it, Joe. Speaking of her...
Okay, so it seems this is how hate blinds you. Trump is like the worst president ever, lost the popular vote, and tried to overthrow a free and fair election, and Biden is the problem. So this is really what it comes into, the arrogance of Americans and why our political system is the way it is.
Where's she been through all these deadly days? As soon as shit erupts and hits the fan, Kamala's MIA. Not like she does anything anyway, so fucking useless. Law and order, crisis at the border, she don't fucking do shit. Just a talking head, paired up with the Walking Dead, breaking absolutely every word that was promised or said. Every time I see their faces on TV, it's such a bummer. I feel like I'm watching the 3rd installment of Dumb and Dumber. And on top of all that, they put another ban on ammo, trying to disarm Americans, but equip the Taliban like Rambo. You give them hundreds of thousands of military guns, but Americans just trying to protect their families are the scary ones. You put more trust in a terrorist organization than you do in your own people. You don't care about this nation.
Okay, so I agree with Samson here that we shouldn't sell weapons. Like, we shouldn't sell, military weapons to other countries. And they use it against... that's where the fighting comes from, because they have weapons. It's just like how America has a problem with school shootings and mass shootings because we have weapons and we have a mental health crisis where they have access to weapons. And they're both scary. So terrorists having guns and having them foreign and domestic is both scary. It can be both. And as far as American is concerned, Republicans are scarier. Basically, Republicans are scarier probably because they equate guns to freedom. Right-wing extremists are the most dangerous group in America. They cause more acts of violence than any other group, including liberals and Islamic terrorists. So if you're really going to be upset at terrorism, you should look at home to the Republicans.
Fuck you, that's from me. Fuck you, that's from them. Fuck you from everyone
Arrogance.
That's still stuck in Afghanistan. Fuck you from the men and women who died for this country. And fuck you for every time you lie to cover up something. You blame this on...
So this really shows the average American's ignorance, because Samson is voicing how his tribe feels. Basically, and a lot of people feel the same way as this. I'm not blaming Samson. I think he's just the mouthpiece for how people feel, and he's just expressing how these people feel. He's the prognosticator. He's not the He's not the driver of this. It's coming. He's learning from people in his environment, and this is what the outcome is. So let's see.
How the fuck is this even his fault? You're in charge now, not him. That's just your default. Whenever something goes wrong, you flip and say he did it. But whenever something goes right, you're quick to take the credit.
Okay.
You undid almost all of Trump's agreements by your second day. So why is this one of the only fucking things you left in place? No crosses to bear, no responsibilities. Just chocolate chip to ease your mental instability. I would say the blood's on your hands, but that's a lie, cause you don't even know where the fuck you are half the time.
So Trump is the one who ordered troops out, and Biden was left to deal with the problem. It's like he recognizes this. This is why sometimes I think he's doing it on purpose. Just like with COVID, Trump didn't have a plan. It was mostly Trump's fault because he basically left Biden holding the bag and having to deal with it. And the outcome is the outcome. So basically, Biden may not be sharp all the time, but he's a competent leader and way better than a traitor, ConMan, and a criminal like Trump. This is how Fox News works. The whole presentation was like the opposite of the truth and active disinformation that serves to distract from the real problem. This happens in media all the time. You are now dumber for listening to Samson. That was ill, but I mean, I love Eminem too, but I'm not saying he's great for gay people. It is what it is. It is entertainment, but at the same time, he's wrong. And you're probably stupider for listening to this kind of stuff. And this is what I'm trying to fix and wrap as a bigger element and as a bigger story and as a bigger problem. I'm just using him as an example. I think his gripes from where he's coming from are legitimate, but I think he's wrong in how he's approaching it and how he's looking to solve it and disseminating his truth. This happens in media all the time. Just because someone has a camera and you think they make sense because they're conforming to a large cohort that is wrong, doesn't mean you're right or making a point. I did this whole thing to show that how ignorance rules and is popular, which is what the Republicans now platform themselves on, the ignorance and arrogance of other uneducated citizens. So I did a poll on Twitter. Basically, it asked, are people more compelled to reason and knowledge or more wired to conform to popular ignorance? It got 16 votes, and 6.3% of them went toward compelled toward reason, and 93.8% went to conform toward ignorance. So most people conform toward ignorance, and that's pretty well understood. And to a large degree in America, ignorance rules, and that's why the Republicans have a platform. The reason people that are ignorant gravitate towards Republicans is because they're not based in reason, evidence, and logical thinking. This is missing like a bunch of that. Evidence for sure. Conservatives use faith, which you can build a morality on whatever the elites deem God justifies. So Republicans use fear to rule, which is why they cling to their guns. And that's all I'm going to say. We've got 4 people on the live, 5 likes. Okay, and I think that's where I'm going to leave it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of my family. You're awesome. I love you very much. Go check out Samson's music video and let me know what you think in the comments. I love you very much, and until next time, you take care, all right? Bye.